Hello and welcome to Nightmares of Future Past. I'm your game master, lluksblackheart, and today's heroes are Ren, Shiro, Allstrike, and all new heroes joining the roster, Techno. Uh, Join us as we try to save Gotham just a wee bit each episode. As a slight recap, last episode the party was able to assault the main vampire nest and defeated Count Dracula relatively quickly. But now
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have
we
to
got lucky.
uh, go forward and see how they can help their fellow survivors in Gotham, so that way people can make some semblance of getting back to normal.
Um, our, so now everything's calmed down at the building. They're not chasing me anymore, or are they still chasing
Well,
me?
like we established at the end of last episode, you got the ants to stop chasing you, and everyone was able to safely make it back to base, where you guys were able
Okay,
to
that's right.
rest and start to calm down a bit because you guys defeated the big bad of this season, leaving what few enemies could still be lingering. Um, Defeating Count Dracula.
What about the ants? Are they still a threat?
Uh,
I think that's what we need to go check out.
are they technically a threat? Yes. They aren't
Okay,
really trying to go all over the city. They are mainly keeping to the park and the surrounding areas. So, for the most
okay,
part,
that's why.
they are self segregating themselves. Uh, because the park they're in is a relatively big park. It's the Robinson Park, which is pretty much in the center of Gotham. Uh, you you guys aren't 100% sure what they're doing for food, other than the fact that they're obviously getting food from somewhere. They do have access to fresh water, so they don't have to go fight over that. Uh, and the ants are mainly being reactionary.
Okay.
So you
They're
guys,
since they're kind of bottled up like that, and they're not a threat at this moment. So, are we going to go back and check the skyscraper, Captain? Is it sewage or
Captain Sewer.
sewer? Okay, since he's the one that assigns missions.
Uh, well, first things first, Captain Sewer is going to be introducing uh, a new hero who answered his call, Techno. Dun dun dun. So feel free to
Howdy there.
introduce yourself, Techno.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Techno, uh, new gadgeteer to help out around here.
Cool.
Yeah.
My name is Allstrike. Um, I'm basically a
Battle armor.
mechanic, armor, and that I'm kind of a scientist type deal. Uh, um, but I use my armor to do everything. If I'm outside my armor, I can't cook. So what I'm trying to think of new things that I could add to it. So if you have any ideas, I'd be willing to think about them. And if there's anything I can help you with, let me know.
that's gonna. If I will gladly give you advice on and some ideas. I just need to know what it is that you currently have on there, so I don't give you a suggestion that you already have.
Um, I just have the basics on here right now. I have a 4 speed. I have fairly decent armor, and that is it's somewhat regenerative, but I have to be out of the battle for it. I can't be currently.
And of course, he's somewhat
And
limited
I'd
on
like to look into, but I have some. I have the basic life support system type stuff. So that's basically what it is. I'll talk to you a little bit more about more of my stuff later. I do have radar and a couple other things like that that has been very helpful with the group so far. I'm still fairly new as a hero, but I enjoyed working with Rin and shiro uh, on this last adventure. But last time I was chased by ants. I I was getting tired, but it did the job.
Yes, it did. And howdy, I'm Ren. I'm your resident scion. Telepathy. So I don't need. Yeah, got a pretty decent uh shield. Not regenerative though. And I can fly and I can carry you if you can't fly. So there's always that.
Yeah,
Very much
yeah. She
appreciated.
gets us out of all our trouble. She keeps me out of trouble. Yeah, I
I
know.
try. I try. And then we have our very dear to our heart, very impressive, apparently one shot hitter, Shiro.
Yes, that's
Sorry
what he
about
said the
that.
last 2 times.
Yep. I'm a weapons master.
That seems to be his stick. He pulls out the revolver and he's like, "Go down, go down."
Excuse me. I'm gonna mute myself right now.
Waiting for that to happen. But yeah, like I was saying, you're now in here. Uh, you were informed that they did take out Count Dracula.
If you don't mind me asking, what's with the shtick in trying to get down to this place?
Yeah, that's all Captain Seward for you.
um. Well, not too long ago, one of our team members was captured by Count Dracula and turned into one of his half bloods. And
That was my
he,
fault.
yeah,
I'm still sorry.
oh, we're not blaming you. Uh, he then used her to locate our base, get into our base, and try to capture us in our base. We were able to flood the base and pretty much get them out of it. But we, for the moment, the main elevator had to be decommissioned. Which now that we don't have to worry about the big guy, I can definitely start working on it to get it working again. When you guys have downtime, I wouldn't mind some help. Uh, but due to the limited breathing situation that a bunch of us have, I do not expect you guys to actually um, do much other than help me where you can. Because the entire lift kind of is flooded at the moment.
It'd be more than useful to you for that.
Yeah. But it's going to take me a while to fix. But once it's fixed, getting back up and down is going to be a lot easier and a lot drier. But this is a fully operational suburban space. I got mess hall, proper living quarters, and make yourself at home. It's why I did everything I could to acquire this place. This is an amazing place. Dun dun dun. But yeah, security problem with turncoat.
I'm sure we can increase the security for your elevator as well.
Well, I mean, for the most part, if you don't have the access code, you can't use the elevator. It just doesn't work for you. So it's more about who's sharing the code. So it's already pretty secured. It's just wasn't expecting someone to be turned against us. It's always sad when friends
And
become
I could, well, apologies, I could not assist because that put me at risk of being compromised as well. So we just kind of had to deal with it physically, I'll say.
Yeah, I hope nothing
Hopefully,
like
all
that.
is there.
Yeah. Hopefully, we whatever comes in the future isn't more vampires, because that's not cool.
Yeah.
Like even some of the other heroes that are helping us out there in the city don't want to deal with them. Like Daredevil, he didn't want to deal with anything having to be a vampire because his powers don't work on vampires.
Yeah. That's something we might, with your help, get your set up something that we can use against these vampires. We know this was silver bullets. Well,
No,
do
we
it in
know
iron.
silver bullets work on them. We haven't verified anything. Because remember, the League contacts are still trying to get us someone with occult lore here to make a attempt to aid us. But until that happens, I can't verify what can and cannot work on vampires. The only thing I can say that definitely works, and you guys are witnesses, is the sunlight is not their friend. That is the only 100% thing we can guarantee doesn't work on them.
Yeah.
Does work.
Can I go make some silver bullets so we could test that?
If you want to start trying to make silver bullets, so that way Shiro has more silver bullets, I'm not against it. The other catch-22 is trying to figure out if any vampires survived the ants' onslaught, and if they did, trying to figure out where they're now hiding.
Yeah, which leads us into going and checking out that lovely hotel that we may or may not have completely obliterated.
Well, I was going to say with how we obliterated the hotel and taking care of their leader, their main leader, there's going to be a power vacuum between them.
Yeah.
So unless Dracula had set up an organization on who is what, there could be a recruitment drive by different vampires to have themselves an army. So that's what I'm just thinking that out loud. I mean,
Trying to occupy the vacant throne so that way they can be king of the hill, while simultaneously trying to avoid us and also not get steamrolled by a bunch of large ants. If you do go to
yeah,
that building to investigate, remember that there is ants in it still. They may not necessarily be out hunting for us, but um, you're most likely going to have to sneak around a bunch of ants. And, well, I hope that goes well.
Is there anything the ants are particularly weak to?
Since these are highly mutated, highly adaptive ants, I'm not sure if we have access to anything that immediately can hurt them. The reason they left their last area they're trying to set up in was one of the big cargo planes that the U.S. government tried to use to dump pesticides on them crashed near there. So we gotta somehow figure out how we can save the water from, well, that. So pesticides still may work on them. Not sure how effectively. Uh, and all I can really say from what's being confirmed right now is there's fast flying ants, giant soldier ants, flying soldier ants, ants that shoot toxic uh, stingers, uh, ants that are apparently sensitive to radar pings.
and that's what I was going to ask about that.
Yeah.
Are they sound sensitive or um, other type of sensitivity? If we can, if him and I can come up with possibly a device that we can use to, if nothing else, make a sonic shield that keeps them in one location.
Well, without verifying
Um,
if the reaction was because they're weak to it, or because they figured it was some sort of threat, we can't. Once we manage to adapt our skill sets to be better at biology and those particular scientific arts, and I get a legit science station set up, we can start doing our own research to what exactly is happening to the ants, besides the fact that they're ranging from the roughly 6 feet in length to up to 30 feet in length.
yeah.
Uh,
I just get taken back to my childhood when, we used to light ants on fire. So might be a good idea to see if they're vulnerable to fire. That's probably going to be our best bet. Most things are vulnerable to fire.
well, most things don't like fire, but then the other thing is how are we going to deploy the fire? And then how are we going to deploy
They
it
built
without them taking out the people deploying it?
I I have a solution. If I don't know how technologically, and this is out of character, I don't know how technologically advanced the world we're in is. Uh, is it possible to make like a type of ray gun where heat?
A ray gun that does fire damage,
Yes,
or a ray gun that sets things on fire.
sets things on fire.
Uh, it's plausible, but it's something you're going to be spending the rest of the season concocting. Uh, Mainly because I have to set time to figure out the actual DCs you're going to have to actually beat just to get a prototype, which I'm unless something happens, I might be able to work up the schematics for it before next game set, next episode.
Deal. I'm gonna go lock myself in a laboratory now.
No, not right now. We're going to need you for if we're going to go
Or
check out
something your
that
character's
building.
doing in any downtime that you have access to. So when you're not out saving a day or sleeping, you're working on that. But is it plausible? Yes. Depending on how plausible, how hyper lethal it is. Well, how lethal it is will depend on how good you are at those particular expertise checks associated with it, which I do trust that you're going to most likely pass a lot of those checks. Does you do have a we'll have to check if it's going to fall under expertise engineering or expertise science. It will most likely be expertise science, which you have a plus 20 in. So likelihood of you failing that check is low. Like real low. Unless certain things are done to it, because when it comes to working up designs for weapons, the more effective you want it, the higher the DC is.
Okay.
But
well, maybe we're just doomsday device from somebody.
Because working on pretty much something that like you shoot it and it has a chance of lighting on fire, I said that's perfectly plausible.
Yeah.
And with inside the the theme of DC, there's one of the most infamous villains in. There's several fire-based villains within DC. So there is a feasible chance that given enough time, you'll be able to produce something that can be used to light things on fire.
Got my hand raised. Out of the game. Isn't the Flash and his enemies and Ant-Man and all of them, are they around or are they gone?
Did you say Ant-Man?
Mm-hmm. Palmer.
That's Marvel, not DC.
I thought that was.
No, Ant-Man's Marvel.
You're right.
Therefore, no, he's not around. He's never been around because for copyright issues, we're doing DC Adventures, not Marvel.
Okay.
I
was just thinking that if we had those Flashes, what was it, Captain?
Yeah, he has one of his villains is fire based, but
yeah.
no one knows. Well, other than the fact that that villain isn't based out of Gotham, you guys aren't sure on whether or not that bad guy's off doing bad guy stuff, because you have to remember Gotham wasn't the only city Hive did stupid stuff in. And you guys don't even know if Flash still is Flash or not. Because you have to remember a bunch of heroes did lose their powers, and a bunch of them were turned into bugs. Because that's the origin of the bug problem. They used to be people.
Okay. I forgot about that. That's what they did. Okay, thank you. You may presume. So, okay, Ren, how do you want to approach the tower? It should be cleared out by now, but how do you want to go about doing it? Because I can fly and use my radar and everything and try to get an idea who's all there.
Right, but the question was whether or not the ants were attracted to your radar. So now I'm actually really tempted to see if we can contact um, Daredevil, have him do a scope because of his abilities, just get some eyes on it real quick. And I'm actually really concerned about that pesticide problem, and I want to go check that out.
Yeah, that's something you're probably right. Do you Techno? Do you know of any devices or anything that can help purify if it does get into the water?
Sure, with a little bit of time, I can devise something.
It would probably have to be something quite large, with it being a military plane full of pesticides. So keep that in mind. We would need to be able to absorb a very, very large amount of pesticide without overloading the system. And make sure that once taken care of, that water is still then able to be either recycled or drinkable, however it comes out to be. I really want us to get eyes on the place where it happened, what sort of contamination we're looking at before we immediately start on resolving the issue. So either some sort of eyes, fly over, whatever information we can gather, and then we come up with an attack plan on how to handle that.
Okay. No, I don't want to get that started. It's Captain Sewer, right? I just want to make sure I'm not doing that. Do we have any surveillance?
Not unless you run around
Drones
with
or anything like that?
if you want any sort of security footage or street camera
Satellite
like
footage.
that, you have to run around the city and not only repair the power grid, restore power to the city, but then make sure all those cameras get fixed.
Okay. I was just asking. I wasn't sure. I forgot about the power grid needs to be reset up.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't have access to any of that because, well, those places don't either don't have power or don't have power. So I'm incapable of providing security footage camera or any sort of surveillance equipment anywhere there because when Hive did their job, did what they wanted to do, they did it really, really well.
Yeah. So do we have any drones that we can use?
Nope. I have no drones.
Okay.
I have no satellites.
Okay. I am just seeing what we do have and what we don't have and what we have to put on the Christmas list for Santa when we get to see him.
So looks like an expedition is in the works. We should head out very soon.
Yeah, if it's that vital, we probably should go out there. And was the ants attracted to the pesticide?
No, they left
We
the
don't know.
part
We
where the
gotta
plane
go.
crashed.
Okay.
Well, that's one thing in our favor then.
Why did the plane crash? Do we know?
When the U.S. government was trying to get rid of the bugs, the Hive used their max to intercept to the best of their ability. And out of the 3 planes that were targeting Gotham and the surrounding area around Gotham, only one of them survived.
Okay. All right. Well, you ready to go, or we can send Daredevil. You said that we could send Daredevil to find out what's in the building. Is that what we're going to do?
Yes.
Okay. And so, okay, is it well? I guess he's going to take whatever other person he can find.
Taking the scope of this building.
Yeah. Well, the building. I think we're going to need your help on with and that is to shit. Shiro, just shoot me.
How
My
about we not and
processors
say we
are.
didn't?
Huh?
How about we not and say we didn't?
Okay.
Out of character, real quick. I apologize. DM, your audio. There's no audio to your stream. I have somebody watching it right now, and there's no audio to your stream.
Are you sure? Because I'm showing audio on my end.
I just got a text. Can't hear anything.
Oh, okay.
That is
concerning.
That is concerning. Can they still not hear anything? Because I have a good connection. OBS is reading all clear on my end.
Give me a second, I'll pop out.
Okay.
All right, give me a second, I'll pop out and see what I can hear.
This is mildly concerning.
Restart they're gonna restart their app and stuff to see if it changes it or if it helps it. Sorry, I got that text that came through, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, you probably want to know about that.
Yeah. Yes, he probably will.
That.
Yeah. Yes, he probably.
But
so, what type of gadgets do you have currently that you use, or do you have a lot of different ones that you use at different times?
I don't have a lot created right now. I am. Currently, I am rocking a blaster and a jetpack and a force shield. Blaster.
Okay.
Okay, I'm actually getting audio on it, so it hopefully.
Yeah, it might have just been their app.
It might have just. What do you mean total silence? What do you mean?
Do what?
Lavender is on, and it said, make sure I'm not muted. What do you mean total silence? Yeah, it does.
Who's on?
Lavender went on Twitch to. What do you mean?
Do what?
Lavender is on, and it's
Lavender.
Okay. Lavender does. Lavender. Does when I'm using total silence the
Who's on?
App, the actual website program for Twitch to watch it, I'm getting audio when I unmute it. Lavender. Does when I'm using total silence. Yeah. So. Yeah. I have no idea why it's doing why it's telling other people. I have no idea why it's doing why. Oh, someone's getting audio in stereo.
Oh, that's another thing.
That's weird. Because I haven't altered well that's the thing. I'm reading all clear on my connection at the moment. Uh, so I am unsure to why it's having
I'm
audio.
also the one that said you have audio and stereo because I had my headset off. Because I popped your stream open as well.
Yeah, I figured. Um, so you at least can hear me, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can hear, I can hear you in there, but I'm hearing you, and then like 3 seconds later, I'm hearing what you just said again. So like when we're having a conversation, I heard All Strike, and then I heard All Strike playing back as he was talking still. So
Well,
it was very confusing because it was like jumbling it.
well, that's because if I unmute,
So,
uh, uh, Twitch,
Oh, you're picking up in both mics
it
then.
blares through my speakers, and then my here, uh, picks it up again. So it just starts a loop. That's why I normally pause it.
Got you. Okay. You
So I have no idea why it decided to have no sound for people. Because, like I said, OBS is reading all clear. I'm not getting any problems from it. Uh, Discord is showing me all green. Uh, when I hit the unmute button, it plays the audio over here. So I am not sure why it's deciding to be goofy for everyone. Because that is weird. Is that individual still having problems hearing me?
no. She said that your audio is coming through fine now. After she reset her app, it was coming through.
Ah, okay. Technology, I swear, sometimes it can be a nightmare. Uh, but hey, I have another first time chatter. Yay, I love first time chatters. It's the simple things in life. Um, Ren, can you hear me?
I can hear you in the Discord. There was no audio whatsoever elsewhere.
That is a.
huh.
There might be a hiccup
That
or
is
something
concerning.
with it.
I can hear you in.
Uh, as if people are starting to hear again. As I said, I'm having no problems on my end. It's negative thinking from other people. And we know who that other people is. Uh, can you guys hear me now?
On a scale of 1 to 10, what order should I worry about gadgets for the issues that we currently have arisen?
Um, because you're technically in no absolute, like, guaranteed rush because a lot of the damage has either already reached a point where it's too little too late or hasn't fully hit a super big problem at the moment. Because besides making sure the ants stay where they need to be, finding the pockets of survivors and helping them out the best of your guys' can. There's the one plane crash that crashed in the park, and it's leaking all of its stuff. So that's going to be the easiest decontamination, or decontamination, the health hazard coming from there is so far limited to that park, which means you're definitely not going to be able to grow anything there anytime soon, if anyone wants to try to grow anything there. The one that crashed in the bay, you guys technically don't have the means to get to it, or even to properly check if it's leaking any of its stuff or not. But it's also at the bay, so if it is leaking, that's a major big problem that you guys can't fix at the moment, because it's going to be real hard to clean that particular water, because it's going to be spread way too far.
Well, I don't know. Out of character, I don't know if you saw the DM I sent you.
Yes. It's until I get the proper DC set up for you. Don't overstress it, because it's something I'm gonna have to work on, and I'll just share with you the DCs, have you make a few checks to see just how quickly you can start producing. Well, you can produce a prototype to then actually verify how it actually works or not. And if everything goes through, because you also want to work on a laser that lights things on fire. As long as I can get the proper DC set up in time, which I most likely can, there's a very good chance that by the end of this season you'll be able to, at minimum, have yourself have a laser to light things on fire, and or have something to help filter out the pesticides. So, yeah, it's more of a slight time thing. But you're on it, and the rest of the party can help where they can, because Awestrike does have expertise in engineering, so he can help with those based checks, and he is decent with technology. So there's a good chance that whatever tech you make, he'll be able to use. And why are you loading weird? Why is it loading weird? Yes, now the PDFs want to be funny. But at this moment, what does the party actually want to run around and do? Because you guys talked about sending Daredevil, and no, not Daredevil from Marvel, for the new hero here. He goes by the same name, but he's not running around in a red devil suit. He can do recon on the tower, because he'll just hide in the shadows. If you guys want to go check on the crash site of plane number 1, you can. because you guys haven't been there yet. But you also don't have the means to start combating the pesticide. If you guys want to go mess with the ants, you can go mess with the ants. Nothing's technically stopping you other than yourselves. Or you guys can start looking for locations where people are held up within the city.
You're saying that
Could we maybe go and see if we can save some people?
well, that's what I was just thinking. Since we're not going to be able to, we can't do anything about the pesticides. I didn't know if there was anything. Does the military? Can the military tell us how to neutralize the pesticides that they use? And if so, can they provide it?
The military hasn't shared any such information other than the fact that it's
down.
the plane's down and it's really potent stuff.
Okay.
I mean, if you guys wanted to, we can always go and try to seal the plane up so no more leaks out.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but I didn't know exactly if we how are we going to do that? What are we going to seal it with? I mean, I think
I
that's
think we
not a
need
bad
to
idea.
see it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what. I didn't hear what Rent is. Rent on back online?
Yeah, I'm here. Apologies. I was just saying I think we need to see it, but I also didn't hear what Techno said either.
I'll let him.
I was just saying to try to seal the plane where it's leaking is just take some scrap metal and weld it to just seal up whatever is leaking. Just to, not that it has to be a good fix, but at least a temporary one until I can devise a way to neutralize the pesticides.
Okay.
I was thinking about if the military can tell us how they can what we can do to neutralize the pesticide, but if we're not getting any response except there's a plane down, what happened to the other plane? If two of them were
It's
knocked
in
down.
the bay. Well, one's in the bay, one's in the park.
Okay, so we don't know if the
Grant Park
bay is leaking anything either, do we?
The one that's in the bay, no one can confirm nor deny that it's leaking.
Okay.
Because
no
one has gotten a chance to go and investigate it.
Well,
I think the one in the park is our bigger issue because worst comes to worst, the one in the bay, as terrible as it sounds, the water to pesticide ratio should neutralize it for the most part.
It's a lot of water. So it'd be the immediate.
That one is leaking.
Yeah. It would be immediate stuff there, not the entire area.
yeah, I was going to say because the bay's so large, we probably have some time to deal with it. And also, we don't know if it ruptured. If it didn't rupture, the tanks and anything that is holding it did not rupture. The only problem that we have is how long will the corrosion, how long will it start? When will it start leaking out?
Worth comes to worth, we could fish it out at a later date. The park is probably the worst issue right now for it, as far as the pesticides go.
Oh yeah, especially if the pesticide could be used as an airborne substance, because they were flying it in. I'm assuming they were going to lay down some spray. So I don't think they were going to fly the plane into the nest. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they did, but. So then, what is your thought about all this? Or you, Shiro, what's your thought about all this?
The environmental threat is pretty.
Hold on. I mean, I don't have any expertise in the area of like welding or anything like that, and all I know is weaponry.
Yeah. Well,
history. I can probably take out a few bugs, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, right now the bugs are staying away from the pesticide, so
that could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah. But like we said, we got other things that we need to take care of, like find more survivors, make sure that going on with that, with the power, whether or not the vampires are reorganizing. If they are, where are they, and what is their plan? The biggest thing is trying to get Gotham back on its feet. I don't. It was how many people were there? A lot of people that got out of Gotham, or was there?
Most of the city
or were they
was
stuck
able
in?
to be evacuated.
Okay, so basically, these are survivors that are in different locations. Do we have any idea where they're at?
No. There's no real guaranteed on it.
Do we have the bomb shelter where all the bomb shelters in the city are, or what do they call it? They're not called emergency shelter. I think they probably changed the title. The fallout shelters, whatever.
Like Ren said, I think the environmental threat would probably be the bigger issue right now.
Do what?
The environmental threat would be the bigger issue right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm just saying that I'm just asking all these questions about, do we have the map? I know what. Captain Sewer. What's this? Can you see if you can locate any information about the shelters, the bomb shelters and emergency shelters the city has, and whether or not, I know we don't have communications with them, but if we have an idea of where they're at, we might be able to find signs of survivors and any rumors.
That's easier said than done because Gotham never really kept those up to date.
Yeah, I'm just asking if you can find whatever you can. It's just an idea I had, because if we're going to go ahead and take care of that, maybe then on this end, while Daredevil is checking out the tower and the area surrounding there. And we approached the pesticide issue, then that might be the best strategy at this point, utilizing all our different resources. And since you're the man of the town, I know you said something about fixing the elevator, but I was just thinking that finding these other families, and that may be a little high up there on the thing. I don't know. What are
So
the
if
rest of you?
I apologize. If divide and conquer is going to be our best bet, Ren, would you want to go with me and we'll go take care of the environmental issues and all Strike and Shiro can go and look for families?
Honestly, I don't see that as being a bad thing because All Strike has that radar, but Shiro will be able to assist in dealing with ants if they are actually attracted to the radar. So I'm down with that.
How about you, Cheryl? Does that sound good with you? I mean, I hate to split the party, but
That sounds all right.
okay.
So you guys
So,
take off to your appropriate parts.
I don't like the look on your face, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
we're not that far out of range that you can't.
With your guys' flight speed, you guys can move relatively quickly back towards one another. So
Yeah.
if you guys need it, you're not that far
Now, do you?
away.
Yeah. Cheryl, do you have a jetpack? I don't remember.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, he has a
Okay.
jetpack.
What?
I'm like Boba Fett now.
Yeah, he gets to run around as Boba Fett with a jetpack. And with the help of sewers, you guys can get to the surface, where you guys can appropriately take off with Shiro and All Strike looking for anywhere where people may or may not be hiding or trying to make a living, while the other two go for Grand Park, where the plane crash is.
Well, one of the things. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop you.
It's not going to take you the 2-0 to go into the park to get further to the park. It will take a while, even with the radar, to pinpoint people, because not many people are out and about nowadays, mainly because they're afraid that a giant ant might eat them, or some weird guy in the alleyway might try to seduce them so that way they can have their neck torn open and treated like a blood bag.
Okay.
So it's going to take you guys a while to actually find people, but you do it. Which means for the meantime, Shiro needs to roll me a perception check. He has a plus 13, and All Strike needs to also roll me perception, and you have a plus 5. That's going to be the basis of your guys' search.
Okay.
And like I said, it doesn't take lavender and lavender. It doesn't take.
You said I have what now?
You have a 13.
Okay.
Ren and Techno doesn't take you guys very long to get to the park because it's more of a straight line. That might happen sooner rather than later. Where you guys can see the plane crash, it's a very, very big plane that's not in one piece. You can see that around it and a big chunk of the park, there's this weird green mist. And within the boundaries of the mist, you can see remnants of an anthill opening. So the plane did crash relatively close to the anthill, and you can see several dead big ants. Do your guys proceed to get closer to the plane?
Yes.
Um,
I will get closer to the plane.
Okay. I mean, I can keep us off the ground though too. So
well, thank God he
That
has
might be
a.
better because I'm afraid my jetpack might ignite something.
Yeah, so she can use her telekinesis to help. Uh,
yeah.
as you guys start to get closer, you're going to have to go into this weird green mist to actually examine the plane further. Do you enter?
I am
Before
very careful of the green mist.
before we get close,
I
I'm
put
going
I put
to.
on.
Shiro? Shiro? You're out looking for
Yeah.
survival fiber, Shiro. This is Ren and Techno.
Okay.
Thank you for being cautious.
Okay.
I love that. Don't lose your cautiousness.
Before we get closer, I'm going to take out some cloth and some masks. I don't know which one I would be able to have, and I'm going to suggest that Ren wears this, even if it's just a handkerchief at this point. Just do not breathe this in.
Are we hearing their conversations or
No, they're doing it in
what?
person.
You're doing it on a separate channel.
Because they're right there next to each other's, it's in person. So unless they declare they're using, their you have to remember, Ren doesn't use comms. She uses her telepathic communication to communicate with people.
Right. Okay. I forgot that she could do that. All right.
But you two individuals do enter in the mist, the green mist, correct?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, carefully.
Yeah. As you guys can enter in, and at this particular moment, you can both clearly realize that you both may have shields that help protect you against, like, decent blows and stuff, but it's not stopping the particles in the mist from touching your clothes and skin. And as it's touching parts of your skin, you're getting a slight stinging sensation.
This is usually what pesticides do, unfortunately.
Yeah. Techno, because you have a high amount of science, can you please roll me with your plus? Roll that beautiful d20 with a plus 20.
Holy shit.
Science
Sorry.
of 20, and this technique falls under science. Okay, as you're approaching, what's left, except as the plane wasn't, when it crashed, it didn't stay in one piece. You're able to actually get a good look at one of the canisters. And because it has some random information on it, besides the fact it has this nice warning of flammable. Some of the chemical name stuff that's listed on what's left of the broken canister worries you, because it's not just high grain pesticide, like top notch. This is going to pretty much, even though it has pests, it's more like, if you're a living creature, this is going to make your life so horrible if it doesn't kill you. But you also believe that some of the chemicals in there, that this is an offshoot of chemical orange.
Oh. They weren't trying to just get rid of ants. They wanted to get rid of everybody.
Which, one of the things you know is you don't have to breathe it for it to affect you.
Yeah, we need water, and quickly.
Okay, so I took it out of there, and
at this point, both you need to roll me fortitude saves. Techno, you have a 10, but Ren, you have a 6.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm. Does yeah. Okay, you guys did not completely totally botch it. For the moment, you guys are considered impaired, which means from this moment on until the condition gets removed, you guys suffer a -2 penalty on pretty much all your die rolls. You're having problems seeing, hearing, breathing, your skin hurts, and you feel aches all over. But you are able to get out of the mist. And Almighty Techno, I'll give you one guess to what one of the primary countermeasures against it is.
Water.
Nope. It's highly flammable.
Yeah, I was going to say, you said Agent Orange, basically, right?
It's basically Agent Orange.
You know, out of character and out of game on this one, why is it every time I'm involved with something, you make something flammable and then I have to blow it up?
Because he likes you.
Well, hey, this was preset like in season 1 when it happened. Okay? We're talking about like several months of this already being set in stone before you even like were able to
What
join
is with
us.
you and flammable things?
Because I may or may not be a pyromaniac.
In any
Jacob,
case,
we know that you are.
This our backing character, Ren. This stuff is highly flammable, and the easiest way to get rid of it is fire. We're the best way to handle this is detonate the plane.
The problem with Agent Orange is that it burns and burns and burns and burns. That's why it caused so much damage. So detonating the plane, it's going to detonate what's on the ground. It's literally going to affect everything in its environment.
It's effective napalm.
Yep.
I mean, at least you won't have to worry about it getting in the water sources and people drinking it or bathing with it.
I have a
But the
question, but
area
I'm
is going
not
to
there,
be on
so I
fire
can't.
for a while.
If there's a better known way to handle it, we can return to this later.
Yeah. Yeah, you can return to it later. But your big concern is finding a location that may or may not have medical stuff, so you can start treating your exposure to this to Agent Orange. Because even short-term exposure has long-term potential consequences. And you guys seem to be lucky. Not too far from Grand Park is St. Luke's Hospital.
Well, off we go to the hospital.
Well, if anybody can hear the pit bull snoring in the background.
So while you guys are bolting to your short run to the St. Luke's Hospital, one, two. Can Shiro please roll me a d20? No modifiers, just a d20.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, going to the map, and where is this location? I've got to double check.
Oh, you rolled a nat 20. Fantastic.
It's Gotham Tower Apartments. Around this time, if you guys flying around, you guys are able to pick up movement on top of the Gotham Tower Apartments, which is practically on the other side of the city from where the party is. Well, the other two are. Do you guys approach to investigate?
What do you think, Shiro? I think we should, so that's what we're out here for. I'm going to run my radar and everything all the way up to where when we find them, see if there is anything else going on.
I'm just going to keep a guard up.
That's fine. I was going to say we need to keep a guard up. That's definitely.
As you guys approach, you can tell that there is a couple people on the top of the apartments, and they appear to be trying to set up tarps and buckets to collect water for when it rains.
Oh, okay. I think we should go ahead and see what we can do.
So you guys land on top of the apartments?
Yeah, and but as we're coming to when we start coming down to the apartment, we're here to help. Are we part of the Justice League?
No.
No. Okay. We are here. We are here to help you. I forgot who we were sponsored by. We're here to help.
Sponsoring you right now. You guys are just heroes.
Okay, that's what I thought, but
I have an official group name yet, other than the Hero Syndicate. But you guys keep laughing at Captain Sue or whatever he calls you guys that.
Oh, okay. Like I said, I'm trying to wave as I come down. Hey, we're coming peace. We're here to help to see if there's anything we can do. So he's coming down ready for any type of
because
action.
Can you please roll me a persuasion? You have a +4 to see how these people initially take your showing up.
21.
Oh, they take it quite well. They seem to be not very combative with you and Shiro. They don't mind people showing up to help, as long as they actually help. They're trying to finish setting stuff up to collect water, so that way they can have actual clean drinking water. If you have the chance to find food, they would like more food because they're almost out of food.
Okay.
Because this
is there any?
A couple outsiders did offer food, and several of them did go to retrieve that food with them, but those people never come back. We have a feeling that We were bamboozled.
Yeah, and they may have been um, sucked into some of the things that are going on here. Not everybody likes to play nice. Is there any like water tanks or anything like that in the area?
Uh,
Like
None
old,
that
like they
are
sit on built.
still in technical working order. Some of the problems that hit the city either caused those to empty out, or people fighting over water caused them to be emptied out.
Okay, I was just trying to think if there was a way that we can um, give them like something that could big enough that uh, can hold water in as if it rains.
They don't have anything big like that at the moment that can be properly set up to hold water. Just the roof
Okay,
isn't set up to have a
that's
water, one of those big water towers
yeah.
built on it.
Oh, well, I asked the guy. I said, "What else do you need? Do you need some medical supplies, or are you okay with that
Well,
for right
we
now?"
mainly just want food. No point in
Okay,
having medical equipment. No point in having medical supplies if there's no one around to use them because they all died. We all died of starvation.
yeah, okay. So, how much food do you have?
Uh, Probably another week or so before we start in-house fighting over who gets what.
Okay, and you're how has have you set up any type of um, means of using all going into the other apartments, getting everybody together to pull together to pull their food together and all that good stuff,
Uh,
or has that already been done?
for the most part, people are trying to hold on to what they got because not all of us are originally from this apartment building.
Okay. Do you
And
know where the other guys you sent out for food where they were going?
not sure.
Okay.
They just left a while ago and haven't came back.
Okay. Um, Subaru too. I am really bad. Lana, um, can you think of anything that we can do right now for them? If they just need food, we can try to get some for them. And how would let me ask? I'm asking the leader or whoever's out here. How do you want the food given to you? Is it you want it dropped on the roof? Do you want it? Is there somewhere where it's safe to drive a truck in? Where that's something we need to know.
Just drop in front of the building.
Okay, I'm just asking because I didn't know if you had a means of securing the garage and whatever, being able to uh, get it, but we'll drop it off on the building, top of the building. Um,
Well, like I said,
and,
just put it in front of the building and we'll send people out get it.
okay, all right, we'll do that. All right.
Meanwhile,
Um,
at the
Meanwhile, back at the
hospital,
ranch.
the other two, you guys are able to get there. Like I said, easily get there. Uh, and as you go to try to get entry, you can find that the hospital security guard confronts you with a whole "I ain't letting you loot us. Go away." what is the response of Ren and or Techno to having a security guard pretty much tell you guys off?
Um, we're not trying to loot you. We're actually coming here for assistance. We need a decontamination unit immediately.
He goes, did you morons go mess with that weird mist?
Yes, we were trying to see if we can contain it so that way it doesn't keep spreading.
He goes, wait here a moment. You notice he calls on his radio. He's like, not yelling into it, but he just mutters himself into it. And after a while, you can notice a secondary security guard and several hospital staff come up, and they pretty much give you guys these weird suits to put on. As one of the doctors says, if you guys want that, we need you to put this on so you to limit the contact with everything here with that gas.
Put on the suit.
After you guys put on the suit, they take you guys to a medical area where you can see that there's about a dozen other people that look like they are suffering from the same gas. And after a little bit, you guys are given some medicine, and you're given a chemical bath to wash everything off of you and your clothes and your equipment.
Well, that was going to be my next question, so that's good.
Yeah. And the doctor does point out, well, you guys are lucky this is a Gotham hospital, otherwise you guys would be so dead right now.
So is there there is you do have a chemical that does happen to counteract this, correct?
It's mostly effective. I say mostly because I'm not saying it's going to be 100%. It's we're running short on stock on it, but it is working to get it off of clothing and skin and stuff like that, so that way the that pesticide chemical doesn't end up hurting people any more than it already has.
As do these suits that you had us the suits you had us wear are they pretty effective against keeping it out or in?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Put myself on mute.
If you get decontaminated, it does a pretty good job of keeping it contained. But if you put it on, walk into the green stuff, into the mist, it can help you for a few minutes before the filtration system craps out and the gas or the mist starts getting in. I only know that because several of the staff that went to go help people initially found out the hard way to how inefficient our filters are against that gas.
Ren, would you be okay with going back to the plane again?
I'm okay with going back to the plane, but since this is a Gotham hospital, that should mean that they have hazmat suits, which should tolerate this more than your standard contaminant suits.
Oh, we don't have those anymore.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to need to acquire those. Also, has it rained since that plane crashed?
Nope. It's been sunny skies for almost a month.
Okay, so I have an idea, but gonna need some assistance with that one.
Uh, Techno, can you roll me an intelligence check? Or intellect check? You have a plus 10. Okay, I just clarified it hasn't rained for over a month in Gotham. Guess how often it normally rains in Gotham?
I'm gonna guess like every day.
Uh, it gets rain pretty much every other day. So it's considered a good day if it's not raining, but it's also a bad day because it means criminals are out doing stuff. But it rains a lot in Gotham. And it hasn't rained in over a month.
That is weird. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not there. Am I?
Uh,
Guessing that means that this is affecting the environment a lot more than we think it is.
well, something's obviously affecting the environment of Gotham, which means there's more mysteries to be discovered and solved.
Yeah, I'm definitely down with that.
Ren, are you would you like to share your plan for what to do with the plane? Because otherwise, I was going to go back with one of these contamination suits and go in myself and at least seal the canisters that are leaking.
You can seal them without using electricity or fire. Because I don't think glue's going to work. But if you've got another thing to do, yeah, I agree with that. That'll lessen it. My idea was one of the biggest things that is known about this contaminant, to my understanding, is that they essentially had to wait it out. But your biggest contributing factor to waiting it out is going to be rainfall because it's going to pull that mist down into droplets. It's going to condense. And so the fact that there's been no rainfall for over a month means that it's essentially the strongest that it could be the moment that it happened. It's just been getting worse. So we need to essentially inflict some sort of heavy water into the area. Um, and that's what we're going to have to do.
Fire trucks available.
uh, you would have to go see what ones are still intact.
I'm not too familiar with the area here. Ren, do you know where the nearest fire station would be?
I'm sure that we have passed by one or two during our time here, but we've not heard any sirens or seen police or ambulances running around since the worst of Hive.
Well, that's because the Hive
Well,
did a
to be
really,
fair,
really good job on crippling the city.
Yeah,
we really just
so
need to find a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I'm in agreement that we need to go and see what resources we can find, but seeing as how they haven't been running, it just depends on whether or not they're there and the state that they're in. So I'm down with going and checking that out.
Okay.
Cool. Let's head out and see if we can find a fire engine. Hey Doc, you mind if we take one of these contamination suits with us?
Yeah, you good. If it helps you solve that problem, take it. Just know, I don't have a bunch of them. So,
Just need one.
yeah, you can take it.
Stop
if
and
you guys go 4
we're gonna need
blocks
to
that
stop
way,
at a store.
turn left, go another block, you'll be at a fire station.
Perfect.
Just
Great. We're also gonna need to. We're also gonna need to stop at a store on the way up. I don't have a very good plan to seal the container, but some putty Uh, any type of putty, even silly putty, would probably hold this together pretty well, just enough to keep it in for now.
How about JB Weld?
That would work.
Yes.
Um,
Hardware
Jacob, I
stores
asked.
5 blocks that way. What was that?
Perfect.
Almighty All Strike?
Oh, I was going to ask how many people that were in the apartment that we're at. I wanted to find out how many there were, so I can
Over 100.
give over 100. Okay.
They're not
Well,
being they're
we'll
not being super accurate with the numbers. Other than there's a lot of us here.
okay. Well, we're going to we're going to go search to see if we can find somewhere we can get you food, but also we're searching for other survivors that are out here. So, and if we find it, if we can find out what happened to your friends that left here earlier, we hope to do that as well. So, good day, sir. We'll be back, and if you do have a do uh, my hands up. Jacob, do we have a frequency or a number for them to call if they do get the
No,
communications up?
no.
Okay.
The communication lines you guys have is pretty. It's a pretty secure channel. That if you don't have the right communication equipment, you're not even going to get the channel, let alone be able to communicate with you guys.
Okay. It was just a question. I didn't know if we had that information to give them.
You would have
So,
to
okay.
uh, occasionally show up to check on their condition.
Yeah. Well, I was planning on doing that. Uh, so, good point.
Uh, at this point, are any of the two teams going to try to share any information with one another?
Yes, I was. Uh, I called and talked to Techno because
He
Ren,
actually has a com.
huh?
Does he actually has a com?
Okay. Um, I call and tell him that we found a group of survivors in a large in the Gotham apartments.
Uh,
Is that what it's
Gotham
called?
Tower Apartments.
Okay.
Just so Techno knows, I'm listening in.
Yeah. Um, what we found about a thing that has approximately 100 people there. Um, they're right now. They are hurting for food. They have about a week's worth left. Um, so I told them that we would come back and check on them, uh, and hopefully we'll have food for them. They said that the water they're setting up, buckets and things like that to try to catch any rainwater when it comes. Uh, so that's what they're doing. Also, they have put out. Somebody had come by said that they could, take them to where there was food, and those people have disappeared.
Good
So
gravy.
there's another. I don't know if it's the ants that got them, or if it's the vampires, or what. I mean, it could be the Girl Scouts for all I know. It's such vicious little thing.
What is your guys' rebuttal
Did I
to the
leave?
knowledge that he just bestowed upon you? Did you hear me, Techno?
I did. I did. I don't really have a rebuttal for that. Just gonna say that we're gonna take care of the plane and the gas issue.
Okay. Did you find out what type of chemical it is that you're dealing with?
It is essentially Agent Orange.
That shit's highly flammable, but that's one way of getting rid of it, though. Is there a way?
Yeah.
I know that it's when the Agent Orange was used in uh, Vietnam, they used to lay waste to the area, and then after they laid waste with it with um, Agent Orange, they basically took and they set we call it phosphorus, you know, burned the thing, burned anything else that was alive. So
Ren came up with a pretty good strategy for how we're gonna handle it.
okay, is there anything we can do?
No, we just have to go and our big thing is we have to stop at a hardware store and we're off to a fire station to see if we can find a working engine.
Okay.
Honestly, more than one vehicle might work in our favor. So the question really is, are you at a point where you can leave where you currently are, and then we can assist afterward in your endeavor? That's really the question.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say that if once you get that all done, I was sitting there thinking, what are you going to, you said you were going to use putty to seal the cans?
We're going to try JB Weld and putty anything we can to seal whatever canisters are leaking.
Okay.
Ren suggested JB Weld, so we're going to give that a shot. My thought was putty, so we'll give that a shot as well, and we'll see what works, what doesn't, and we're going to try to take care of it from there.
Yeah. I was going to say you might be able to, I don't know how the canisters are or whatever. You could take and I just don't know. I don't remember if Agent Orange ate through plastic. But I was going to suggest that you could have it, say, if you can't fill it with putty or whatever, you can put some type of bag around it and seal it. But that's not going to work. If it's leaking, it's leaking. So never mind.
We'll take care. We've got a pretty seems like a pretty solid strategy, but yeah, as Ren stated, if you guys are at a point where you could leave, if you could try to find a working fire engine filled with water, or if there's a tanker, that'd be great. If you could bring it to the plane crash.
Okay, we'll look for it. We'll look for it. Look for something. Okay. Well, we could do both. We're going to look for survivors as we're looking for the engine as well, or for you said a water tanker.
Water tanker would work as well.
Okay.
So all Strike and Char are going to start looking for something. I mean, a vehicle based on water. Well, based on holding and transporting water.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
At this point, both Ren and Techno can easily make it into the hardware store. That does look like at a point it was partially ransacked. Can both of you need to roll perception checks to see if you can find what you're looking for. Techno, you have a 10.
I rolled. I added my 5, so I only got 10. So.
Apologies, what was mine?
Give me a moment. It's loading weirdly. 12. Well, I'm happy you guys didn't roll ones. As you guys can go in, you're looking around. One of the things you are able to notice is that there's on the floor of the hardware store, there in some of the spots there seems to be this weird puddles of liquid. That it's more slimy than liquidy, but you are able to find the sealant chemical you were looking for.
We found some JB Weld, some putty stuff like that.
Oh, question. I was sitting there thinking as I'm going looking. It's kind of dawned on me. Isn't that weld material? Doesn't it generate a lot of heat?
JB Weld does not generate heat. It is a cool weld. It's
Okay.
basically like super glue for metal.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I've heard of it. I just never used it.
Yeah, it's like super glue from hell. It's
Okay.
like gorilla. It's what happens when you take gorilla glue and give it steroids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've done that before.
it's what super glue used to actually be, but better.
For what?
It's what super glue used to be, but somehow better.
Yeah.
Now, another thing you're able to find there is a few sheets of aluminum siding.
Yeah, we're gonna take those as well.
Yeah.
Do you guys then head to the fire station?
I think we're pretty well wrapped up here, Ren. How about you?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, off to the fire station then.
You guys can easily get there. The fire station does look at one point where firefighters were defending it against something, but you don't see the firefighters. You just see some loose body parts and some articles of clothing. One of the not at the fire like a fire truck itself, but one of the the fire chief truck is tilted on its side, and the main door to the house, the brain stopped working. To the fire station where they keep the fire trucks, you can see that one of the doors is ripped mostly open.
Well, that can't be good.
And there's a weird smell coming from within inside.
Ren, are we gonna go in and investigate?
I'm sorry, my brain was occupied elsewhere. Could I get a repeat, please?
You guys, they said you found the station. It looked like firefighters tried to hold up to fight off something, but obviously lost. The fire chief truck is on its side, and one of the main doors to the garage where they keep the fire truck is mostly torn open. And there's a weird smell coming from inside.
Does it look like there could be another fire truck inside of the station? Typically there's two, that's why I'm asking.
You without entering inside, you cannot verify if there's the second truck is still in there or not. You would have to enter inside.
Okay, so there is typically two. Yeah, so there's typically two. The place looks like it's big enough to house two, like that kind of information without having to go inside.
You can assume that there's most likely a second one in that the fire trucks are in there. You just have to go in to actually verify if they are actually in there.
How do you feel about that, Techno?
I feel like this is going to probably turn into a problem, but we really need that fire truck.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to let Allstrike and Shiro know telepathically that we are at the station we were going to go to, um, and we're going to go inside. Um, there may be a call for assistance based off of scenery from the outside. And I project that to them as well, so they essentially see what I'm seeing momentarily.
Okay. Well, let us know if you want to stare. So we'll be there in a heartbeat.
Prior to
Okay, we could
entering, I'm
go.
going to. Oh, sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just saying, all right, we're going in. We're ready to go.
Okay.
Prior to
Keep your
entering,
communication up.
I'm going to activate the force shield.
Okay, you guys can easily enter in through the opening, and as you guys are entering, you can see the front part of a fire truck. Uh, the smell is definitely bad, and you guys are find it as you're entering in. You step on this the same slimy liquid that was inside the hardware store, but there's a lot more of it,
Oh, this isn't.
and there seems to also be some of it on the fire truck.
My first thing is I'm going to look up.
Yeah, you can easily look up, and as you look up on the ceiling, because again, these are pretty roomy garages. On the ceiling, you can see what appears to be maybe four. Yeah, four of these insects attached to the ceiling, and their abdomens seem to be extremely bloated with liquid. And by extremely bloated, I mean large beach ball filled with liquid. And as you're staring up, you can see an ant go up to one of the part of the abdomen, mess with it. Some fluid comes out, and it grabs the fluid, slurps it up with a couple drops dropping, and as it does that, it just looks down at you.
Ren,
And
Those
the
are honeypot ants?
please look up.
Yeah, they're I looked up
yes,
with you.
and
I looked up with you.
yeah, it's like, well, you call it. Those are honeypot ants, and there's a honeypot worker staring at you. Which means there's most likely a honeypot warrior not too far by that's going to viciously and maliciously defend those honeypots.
So I'm going to telepathically grab Techno and go back through the opening flying and just go up. Just go up.
Just
And I've got him trailing behind me.
Me.
after a moment after you exit, coming from a broken window, you can see this very mean looking ant that's extremely streamlined, and it looks at you guys, and you can see it has wings, and it's eyeing you guys down.
Techno, what weapons do you have again?
Oh, I'm going to start firing the blaster now.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to shoot at it with the blaster.
I thought out of game. I thought you could read his mind, Ren.
That doesn't mean he's constantly thinking about what weapons he has on him.
Okay, you have
I wouldn't know. Yes.
You do have a.
Don't worry, the shitting my pants fear means I'm shooting.
You have.
Yeah,
You
well,
have
that's good.
+8 to your to hit. So let's see if you hit the ant that's eyeing you guys up.
+8.
Yep. It.
Woo.
You fire. It dodges, and immediately makes a high pitched sound, and takes off. And as it's moving towards you guys, a bunch more start coming out.
Yeah, I'm sending that distress signal to all strike and shiro, like, oh, incoming.
Okay. Once
Uh,
we receive the signal, we're busting ass to get back.
well, Almighty Techno, you need to roll a parry check with a +8 because the ant you shot off does have the capability to quickly get to you and attempt to bite you. Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh no. That one means your 12 toughness for this check drops by 5 whole. Well, you're not 10, you're 12. Drops to a 7 because of that one. So can you roll another d20 with a +7?
Can I not grab the ant before it gets to him? I was going to say something, but everything happened too fast.
Okay,
15 seems to be my lucky number.
well, you are not down for the count. You simply just have a point of damage. Uh, now, you two have to roll me an initiative.
I do, or both of us.
Both of you. Oh, why is that not in there? That needs to be in there. Yeah, Techno, you do have a +6 to that, so you have an 18. And Lavender. I love your +1. Okay. Oh, dear God, you are going absolutely positively last. And the ants are going first.
It's going first.
The
Didn't I
what?
get an 18?
Oh, no, sorry, you got an 18. I forgot to add in there. So you two go first. There's one ant trying to bite you, which means you can shoot at it if you wish. Or you
I'm
can
going to use
hope that
Dazzle.
you're going to try to blind it.
I'm try to blind it so it
Uh,
falls out of the sky.
well, it won't necessarily fall out of the sky. It'll just be flying in random directions, hitting into shit because it armor language won't know where it goes. You have a +8 to this attack to hit it. You manage to hit it. It needs to now make its check, and it's a fortitude check. These particular ants are across the board. It manages to pass and not get blinded by any degrees. The dice bot does not want you to do it. You technically still have a move action. You can attempt. You can rapidly move away from it.
I'm still in Ren's bubble, and I wouldn't leave her. I won't leave her stranded like that, so I'm going to stay.
Okay. Well, ant number 1 is going to try to bite you. You are entitled to your +8 dodge. I'll let you roll first.
All right, +8, you said?
Yep. Oh, that you completely and totally managed to not get bitten because that nat 20 turned that 28 into a 23. So you absolutely positively dodged with flying colors. But hopefully you can keep that luck up because there's 5 more ants now closing in, and 2 of them are going after you. The other 3 are going after Ren. So you need to make me 2 more dodge checks. been bitten.
Super.
Apparently, these other two ants are a lot more adept at fighting than the other one. You have to make 2 toughness checks, one at a time. Since you have 1 damage on you, your first one gets a plus 11.
I give up.
Well, you have to remember that they're not necessarily high damage ants.
One again.
What is that? Oh, that was Ren. That would be 8, but that's 13. You have taken a second point of damage and have been stunned. You got to make a second fortitude save against the other. Well, not fortitude, but the second toughness against the other one. And since you have 2 points of damage, you now only have a plus 10. The die spot it's doing to you what it loves doing to me. Ren, are you ready to start rolling your parries?
Oh, I'm using my. Well, wait. Is this still a bug turn
It's still bug
or
turn.
my turn?
It's bug turn.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. You also
I
have plus
guess.
8s. Wait. I need to double check something. Don't roll. Yeah. What are you doing with the computer? I'm removing the damage and the stunned condition from tech.
Why?
These ants are the weakest colony out of the obviously now confirmed more than one colony of ants. Their damage rank is 4. That's why even with that horrible roll you didn't get KO'd or anything. But do you remember what I said about your imperviousness? On how if it's a certain number lower, you don't care?
Yeah.
Do you remember what that number was?
4 or less.
Exactly. It means the couple of bites that hit you, your force field tanks like a beast. Which also means it doesn't matter if they hit Ren or not, they can't damage Ren either.
He's
The
so
only
close to
thing
me.
can damage her is if they get confirmed criticals. Same with you. Which means as long as there's no more powerful ants here, this colony obviously is not suited to fighting you guys at all.
So, are you telling me that we can actually just ignore them, go get the truck, and drive out of there like nothing will happen?
Yes, because they can't hurt you.
Okay, so new plan. Um, calling off the backup and going and getting the truck.
Yeah, because you guys can finish.
Laughs in advanced technology.
Yeah. The power of her mind and your technology. You're like, wow, these are literally the weakest ants. Because these particular ants are also only like 5 feet in length. So they're significantly smaller than the hive you guys are worried about. But you guys can get in there with them trying to bite you. And are you going to tell your reinforcements not to worry about it because these ants suck?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said calling off the backup, and they're our backup. So that's what I meant by that. Apologies.
I just wanted to make sure it was. We'll verify that was said. Because you guys can finish opening up the garage door to get the vehicle out, and then drive the vehicle out of there. Because finding the keys is easy. the truck, other than having some of the excess slime stuff on it, is in working condition. And by the time you guys are actually pulling off, the ants aren't fucking pardon my language, aren't messing with you anymore, because they're like, huh, we can't do anything against them. And you guys aren't obviously trying to actually fight them anymore, so they're not being hostile anymore. Other than that, the truck has, because that's some of the residual droppings from the honeypots. The truck does not smell good to you guys.
Is there two trucks or is it just the one?
Oh, the second one's in there.
Are they both operable?
Yes.
Brandon, do you want to take two separate trucks or you want to just take the one?
Do both of them have water?
If both of them have hoses and we can find a higher fire hydrant nearby, it shouldn't matter.
Well, the only issue with that is that Captain Sewer drained the systems to wipe out the base, so there might not be enough water pressure for that.
Okay. Yeah, see, I wasn't aware of that. Sorry.
There was multiple things that
No, of
happened
course,
throughout
that's
the
fine.
city that ruined, that compromised subways and the pipelines. Because it doesn't help the fact that the party may or may not accidentally activated self-destruct systems within several Hive underground facilities that did cause several blocks to also become rubble.
Okay. So, do both trucks have water in them?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, then we take both.
Yeah.
So you guys can pull out of there with both the trucks. It is awkward getting to the park because there may not be people driving, but there's plenty of random problems throughout the streets. But after a while, you guys can get to the park. Do you decide to start hosing down the mist?
Well, those aluminum sheets we grabbed from the hardware store, I think we should place those on the perimeter first, and then we can possibly use them to seal it up after it's sprayed down.
For me.
So, Almighty Techno, you put on the all-important suit.
Yeah, I'm gonna suit up. Ren, if you could, keep spraying wherever I'm walking, and I'll put the sheets down as I'm going.
Sounds good to me. They should be upright, kind of embedded into the ground like a wall so that we're not causing too much runoff. We're not trying to spray it out of the area, we just want to get the mist down.
That works.
Because you can operate it, start spraying it, which will increase the longevity of the suit by a lot. Because you're not breathing in so much of the chemicals because it's being watered down as you're also getting wet. Doesn't take you too long to get to the tanks. And I don't know why I'm asking you to roll this, as I know you're going to pass, because it's technically a technology check to properly use the sealant correctly. Does you have a plus 20 to it? So after a while, you're able to get it sealed by putting the proper stuff up, even using some of the aluminum to better make sure things are shut, so it's not leaking anymore. And around the time you're done with her doing the light sprays to make sure she's not killing all the water immediately, but spraying it, you realize this United Property Sleep that she's spraying everything down. Out of some of the dead crewmen, you see something that somewhat disturbs you. Weird fungal growths.
If everything is calmed down, I'd like to go and inspect that. Actually, I would like to just drag that body out.
Well, you're able to easily grab the body and drag it.
I was about to say, can I see the body?
You
Figured I would
have
just
to
drag
stop
it out.
spraying the area to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
But as you're dragging it, you have to keep grabbing different parts because the body wants to fall apart. And what you notice is throughout pretty much, with the exception of obviously clothing and bones, whatever this fungus is, did a very effective job about consuming the flesh of the person. Like, an extremely good job of it. And as you're dragging it, you notice part of the mushroom, well, not mushroom, but part of the fungus, seems to be slightly, occasionally slowly twitching towards you.
Well, this doesn't look good.
Do you relay anything to me?
Yeah, I'm gonna relay the fact that this fungus looks to be sentient to some degree, and it's also flesh eating.
I'm going to spray you down with water and then telepathic or telekinetically grab said body and move it out for view. But I am definitely spraying you down with water.
As you initially grab it with your telekinesis and you start to move it, the body drops.
Well,
And you're
that doesn't seem
finding
good.
and you're finding it hard to use your telekinesis on it. Can you make me a will saving throw, please? I am so happy you have a plus 14.
A plus what?
14. Oh, God.
Where'd you roll?
The dice bot wants you guys to fail today. But as you're doing it, you can almost feel pulled towards it. And then you realize that for the moment, you can't access any of your psychic abilities. Almost like your abilities may have been drained away.
I scream run away from that now at Techno.
I'm gonna go ahead and run, and I'm gonna, you know, no, I can't jetpack. I'm in a can't contamination suit. I'm just going to bolt away towards Ren.
As you're bolting away, Ren, you can see that the fungal mass began to very effectively move the bones to stand up. And then start walking towards you guys.
Can I spray it with water?
Yes, you can.
I'm spraying it with water.
And boom. After a moment, you can tell that it does separate into different body parts. And when you're done spraying it, you can see like several of the body parts that the fungus, well, the bones that the fungus are still attached to, like those parts are still trying to use the bones to be mobile. And at this moment, coming
I
from the crane crest, you can see what looks like several crewmen, other crewmen, slowly starting to walk towards you guys.
I'm gonna take off part of the contamination suit, and I'm gonna fire the blaster, trying to hit the fungus. I'm assuming I'm gonna aim for the biggest mushroom on each body.
The pretty much biggest centerpiece, the centerpiece connection of the fungus.
Yep.
You do have a +8 to hit. You hit it. Because the fungus is easy to hit. I am so happy you have a high damage weapon. Because it needs to beat a DC 27. So you blast it, it hits, and then something terrifying happens. It detonates, sending shrapnel of bones and fungus everywhere.
I don't like that.
Does it boom?
Well, we're the only two in the area, right?
Other than the other two shambling mounts coming towards you, you two are the only people.
Then keep shooting.
Yeah.
Keep shooting.
All right. Well, I'm gonna fire again at another one.
You have a +8. As you can tell, they're not very hard to hit because they only have +5 to their dodge because they're not very dodgy. You hit it. Let's see if it can pass. That one manages to pass with flying colors and doesn't detonate. Do you shoot it again?
Yep.
Let's see if you can hit it. Oh wow, that's gonna help you a lot because that increases the DC by 5. That one also when you hit it, it bursts, sending shrapnels of bone and fungus everywhere. See if you hit this one. That one managed to dodge like it's no one's business. Apparently, boom, you have one more check before it gets to swing at you. Okay, let's see if it pops. It pops, but because of radius, you need to make me a d20 with a +8. Because it's close enough that you are caught in the radius. Okay, your force field belt protects you against the shrapnel pieces, so you're not suffering a broken suit or anything like that. But yeah, the you managed to subdue the fungal zombies. But then it hits you that you technically seeded the area.
Quick question: is the mist down?
For the most part, in certain parts, yes. In other parts, no.
All right, so fun thing. We can get the rest of the mist down, then it won't cause a very large explosion, and then we can light the whole area on fire.
It works for me.
So you empty the rest of the trucks, both the trucks, water to make sure everything's down.
Do we have a third truck on the way?
Not yet. But you have what's left in the one
Mm,
you've been spraying, and then the other one you guys put up with that's you guys haven't touched yet.
we should leave at least 10% of the volume in the other truck. Um, Essentially, since we're going to be lighting shit on fire. And inside of the plane where those canisters are, we do not want the fire to go into those canisters. We don't need those exploding. So we need to do something about that. But
Here's the other problem we're going to run into is that this fungus seems to have a very volatile reaction to things assaulting it.
yeah, no one said I was lighting it on fire. I'm lighting the chemical on fire once the mist is down.
Right, but we see that the area with the fungus.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning the seeded area is
It
also where the bunch of the mist, well, bunch of the chemical you're going to be lighting on fire is. And that's only if there isn't more with inside the plane crash.
Yeah. So what's the concern with the volatility? Yes, it doesn't like being messed with, but lighting it on fire would probably help with that.
the area and that plane may go up in flames, with or without us being here.
Did you get to seal the containers?
Yeah, I think I saw all of them since I was technically in both halves of the plane, so I should have seen all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Seen all of them or sealed all of them?
Oh, sealed? Yes, I
Yeah.
sealed them.
Okay, I can remove them from the plane.
Did you forget
And essentially
something?
hold them above our. Yes, I know it's not active right now, like it's been drained away. I know it hasn't restored yet. Hopefully it's not permanent. I don't know how quickly I can test them.
The other issue is going to be again is the volatility of the fungus. This area may go up like a bomb, given that one shooting one mushroom detonated the bodies.
Okay, that was the question I was asking earlier, was what were you meaning? But I understand now.
Yeah, well, it didn't take
So
an
what's your suggestion?
overwhelming force to cause the body to pop. It was one area, and it turned it into a
All right,
giant
so
shrapnel grenade.
what's our next move?
We can attempt to light everything on fire. Let's get one of the trucks a little bit closer. We'll put the canisters on the truck if we have to for now, and we'll get the truck out of here, and then we can light the area on fire and hopefully not turn the park into a crater.
Yeah, that'd be preferable. Um, that is
We,
why one of the reasons why I was suggesting a reserve of the water as well. We really need to get the mist down, and then we'll pull the containers out, get them moved. They're going to have to be rinsed down before we put them on the truck, and then go from there.
So you guys do the lengthy, difficult process of securing the relatively decent-sized canisters from the plane and cart them using
Yeah.
the fire truck.
Yep.
The couple that are in the back section are easily removed because they were the most jumbled. When you get to the next section of the plane that has the other containers, and you start taking them off and stuff, you realize that in part of the plane is a lot more of that fungus. And
Well, this is not
you
very
notice
pretty looking.
that in a center mass part, there's an eye. Not like a normal human eye, but like a big eye, and it's staring at you.
Well,
I am.
hey,
I am
Ren.
happy you have a +10 to your will saving throw. Can you roll that, please? Okay, you pass, but you get a massive migraine like something did a mental assault on your brain.
Can I continue to power through dragging these canisters out?
Yes, Ren, do you run in to check on him?
Yeah, he did holler for me, didn't he?
Yeah, you can run in there. You can see this big mass with the big eye, and it's staring at him. And as he's like finished unhooking one of the things to do it, another will saving throw, please, Techno. Because your shields can't protect you against this. Okay, you're getting lucky because a 24 is passing you, but you did twitch like headache thing. Ren, you realize that he's being mentally assaulted. As in
Did you not
that
see
psychic
the
fungus.
Yeah, did you not see that giant eyeball on the floor?
To get these canisters out.
Yeah.
It's either that or we're detonating the canisters in the plane with the rest of the area. Which would you prefer?
Have an idea, but I need to go make a test. So why don't you just come outside with me?
The canister, I was standing near and unhooking it. I'm just going to take that with me.
I'll live with that.
What do you do, Ren?
Are we outside?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to drag him outside the perimeter, the closest perimeter I think where the fragments could be. So we're going outside that perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell me when we're there.
After a moment, voila, you guys are there.
Okay.
I'm assuming you drove the truck that has the other canisters, correct?
I drove the truck that has the other canisters.
Well, that's what I'm verifying. Did you drive that fire truck out with the other canisters so it's easier to get those canisters out?
Yes.
Or did you leave the... Okay, yes, boom. So majority of the canisters are nice and safely away.
Yes. Can I read his mind?
Can you make me a will saving throw? You do have a 14. You feel your powers are weakened, but you can detect his surface thoughts.
Okay. How difficult would it be for me at full strength to be able to move the plane?
Pretty difficult, because it is a big, even though it's not necessarily in one whole piece, it's still a relatively large, heavy plane with a unknown amount of fungal growth inside of it,
Psychic
weighing it
entity.
down.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how much mass it
Uh-huh.
has, other than the fact it wasn't tiny, it was relatively big. Like it was growing inside of the
Mm-hmm.
plane.
And feeding off of the containers and all that disgustingness. Yeah. Okay. Why don't we do a test of volatility on a piece of fungus relatively close to the outer edge?
How do you test it?
I don't know if we really have. Huh?
How do thy test it?
So what was it that you said, Techno? Your mic was down.
It was the same thing that he was going to ask us. How are we going to test this?
Okay. So is this piece that we have outside of the material, the caustic material?
Yeah. Well, while you guys are doing this, the other duo are able to find a water truck.
Okay. It was it.
All right.
I guess it was his roll because he rolled a fairly high. Mine was in mid range.
Well, needless to say, both of you found it. That you're looking as a team.
You want to drive?
Sure.
Okay. So I'll stay in guard I'll stay on guard on top of the truck. That way.
And you guys start trying to make your way to where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you tell them?
Yes, I do. I signal them saying, "Hey, we found a water truck and it seems to be full, so we're on the way." I guess they didn't hear me.
Uh,
Suffering a
Techno,
migraine.
Techno, you are able to get the message that Allstrike and Shiro have a water truck and they're on their way to you. It's just going to take them a while to drive it to you.
That is that. See you guys soon.
Okay, see you later. Out of game. What does it matter if you put a big hole in the middle of Central Park or their park? Because then they have a place to go skateboarding when they concrete it in.
He's not wrong.
I thought that would be cute, but
I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. Grant Park can be Skater Grant Park after that. It'll be a skater park.
yeah. Then we might be able to find some young superheroes that have the ability to be superstar skateboarders.
Well, with the knowledge that you have more water on the way, are you two going to decide to um, test that small batch, or are you going to decide to jetpack the chemicals that are now on the ground, so therefore you burn everything?
We want to test the volatility of some of this fungus. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little torch and see what happens.
Where is this fun?
Real quick. Do I have the ability to grab him and remove him if it goes sideways? Because that's kind of important.
Your telekinesis to grab is at half strength at the moment, but yeah, it's more than enough to move him.
Okay, cool.
Um, but you damage the small piece that's there. And a moment after you damage it, you notice it inflates a bit, which gives you enough time to pull back, and then it does go pop, and that small amount was equivalent to what you believe was an M80.
Holy crap.
So
We
it sounds
felt
like a
that too.
gunshot went off.
This is I think that concludes our testing. I'm pretty sure this is gonna go boom in a big way, regardless of what happens. Ren, I'm going to suggest that you start driving the truck. We're gonna light a match, toss it, and just kind of try to walk away.
Cool
You
guys
mean
don't look at explosions.
so you might want to
Um,
toss the flare?
the only thing I want to know is if there's any way we have the ability to contain this ungodly explosion.
Nope.
Oh, I was gonna.
See, the thing is that if we blow it up, will we seed the whole Gotham area with it?
There's only one
Or
way to
the
With
find
another,
out.
napalm. I'm sure the napalm is probably gonna, destroy the seeds.
I
What
mean, at this
napalm?
point, we might as
are you
well.
sure? Because we can probably contain it if we just build walls around the contaminated
You
site.
don't have the
Keep it cordoned
resources nor
off.
manpower to do that.
And not only
Yeah.
that, but every time Ren gets anywhere remotely close to that plane, that fungus decides that she doesn't need her powers anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, at this point, we might as well just put the dang canisters back.
Ooh, can we just drive the truck into the plane to cause the explosion then?
You mean set the truck to run into the plane, puncture the canisters, to make sure that when it hits and sparks fly, that there's definitely a huge explosion of fiery napalm.
Why not?
Oh
That's a
gosh, I have
tech
a bad
check.
feeling about this.
What?
That's a
How
tech
big of a
check.
shield can you get?
Oh, that's a tech check?
Yeah, it's a technology check. You have a plus 20 to make sure you set everything up properly.
Ren, are we going through with this plan then? Ren,
Mm,
do, do we want to go through with this before I start rolling?
We
wait a
we might
second.
make bigger of a problem.
You're not there,
just
sure.
saying.
No. We're in a park, right?
Yeah.
There's no buildings directly like close by or anything.
There's a. It's
Like we're not right beside the hospital or.
No, you're a few blocks from the hospital.
Hmm.
And it's technically city blocks, so you're probably like 100 or plus 100, maybe 200 feet away from the hospital.
Hmm.
I I know that I've been hearing this over text com with her. How much fungus is over there that you incorporated? That's the stuff that's going to go boom.
Enough to be a problem, but not enough to be not enough to cause a nuclear explosion.
Well, that's what I'm wondering is if the explosion goes and you said it was MA for how much fungi that you had.
Not much.
So say an ounce, half an ounce, three-quarters of a pound.
They didn't measure
Um,
the actual amount, but not very much.
So basically, not very much to very much. That's going to be a really good big bang. And the thing is it going to seed the area with the rest of the fungus if it does not burn right away?
Here's the other problem. We have no way to contain it. The other problem is we don't know what's going to happen with the added firepower of what we essentially created as napalm. And the other thing is we don't have a way to contain it even if it stays here.
Okay.
I can't even touch anything near it telekinetically.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'd go. I mean, go ahead and set the thing off. Just realize that we gotta clean up whatever mess there is, or maybe not. If we put in a new skateboard park with that crater, we'll be all right.
Let's be realistic here. This is either going to go really bad or really, really bad, and it may not be my problem anymore if I'm close enough.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Well, can't you just use a flare or a timing device to say
we're going to use a fire? We're going to use a fire truck strapped with canisters.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
yes, they're going to use fire. A fire truck.
Best timing device ever. When that truck hits, we know we're going to either die or be safe.
I mean, we have another truck. We can just drive away.
Yes, but we don't know how big of an explosion this is going to cause. So again, it's either going to A, be a problem, or B, not our problem.
Yeah. I'm kind of fine with this. I can't really. So, even if we neutralize the chemical, we're not killing the fungus. So at least this way, something's happening.
So I need that tech check to rig the fire truck of not so safety. Okay, you can easily set it up. Have the canisters all positioned up, unseal parts of it, and just boom. Now, do you guys still attempt to drive away in the other truck? Do you do the cool guys don't look at explosions, walk away? Or do you decide that you guys can fly and you attempt to fly away?
I mean, I can attempt to fly away. I'm still only at half power, aren't I?
I'm gonna go ahead and grab Ren and jetpack us out of there.
Yeah. Okay, you can jetpack yourself out. Boom. A few moments after you zoom out of there, there's a big explosion. And you, good sir, because again it's a very big explosion, need to roll me a d20 with a +5. Okay, you managed not to crash and burn, but there's a big shock wave that does rattle you a bit, but you're able to get to some safe distance. To look back at the park.
Yeah, I'm gonna look back.
Do you know what happens when you blow up napalm?
Yeah, it goes flying everywhere.
The park is essentially on fire.
Yeah.
Along with the surrounding buildings on the outside of the park is also now on fire.
Okay.
There is a big crater. By big crater, I mean it's really big because you can guesstimate that the fungus possibly was also growing inside of the anthill.
Are there now on fire ants?
Well, the ants that were there were all vacated.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about flaming ants or ant body parts falling off, but you can definitely tell that there's lots of dirt and shit falling all over the place, and just about all of it's in some degree of on fire.
Okay.
So, thank God Gotham is mainly stone. This is like brick and concrete. So, even though you've technically officially started a city fire, it's not necessarily going to go very far because just about all the buildings are concrete and brick.
There's also, the caveat of the other fire truck.
We left behind.
We left it
That's no
behind.
longer usable.
Can we use the
There's
hose?
another fire truck.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
Strike and Shiro have.
Oh yeah,
oh,
there is the one that
they have a
yeah.
water truck.
Right.
Which, as they're
Still.
driving, you guys can feel the city shake, and over some of the buildings, it's like, was that a big fucking explosion?
Yeah.
At this point, because you're the only psionic person here, Crystal, with magical crystal balls.
Yeah, all my super magical crystal collection that I have. It's such a yeah.
Hoot and holler. Um, the psychic backlash that's affecting your psychic devices is causing you to need to do a will saving throw. Does you're getting psychic feedback?
So how far can you throw, Will?
A lot.
It's a 14, right?
Yes. Okay.
Oh.
When the explosion stuff happened, you got a huge psychic feedback. So your powers are
Please tell me it's
working.
just screaming.
But you kind of felt like you had a connection to a mind that just died extremely abruptly and quickly.
Cool. Okay.
Like you were present with it when it died. You felt its pain.
Okay.
The searing
So I'm screaming in
burns.
agony while Techno is flying around with me up in the air. Okay.
Yeah. But you're not like crippled or anything. You just you felt its death as if you're the one that died.
Okay. And then it ended, right?
Yeah, but your skin feels like it's like you just put your hand on a stovetop.
Okay. So I'm riding in agony in the air. I'm okay with this. I'll come around.
That's the answer we were looking for.
But after a while, the water truck crew does eventually show up. And do you guys start using whatever you can to start putting out the more important fires with the water truck?
Yeah, that's what we have to do.
That way you can better
Because we're not going to get
burning. Does you definitely napalmed a portion of the city.
Yeah. Well, we'll take and try to do the city first, but is it burning like napalm? Because if it is,
Yes.
we're using the wrong. Oh fuck! Does it still burn when you put water on it?
Yes.
Oh fuck!
It's just gonna spread the fire.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Stuff. We got this. Oh crap! We're making it worse. Stop.
Yeah, best bet here. Just let it burn. Sorry, what's that, Red?
I said, tell me when I recover from the mind death.
At this point, you're recovered, and because we have hit our time marker, plus or minus 40 minutes, we will end this episode with the party hearing a distant crack of thunder. As you guys look out at the sea, as a massive storm is approaching.
Cool.
Oh,
Thor's coming.
uh, I, I was thinking
So
more like Oppenheimer or
we will
Black
end it there.
Mirror.
Those who joined us to watch, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and join us. Remember to join us next week for more Nightmares of Future Past.